Visual to blindness.
For so long, people with vision have seen people with no vision as hopeless and no positive future for them. But we, as Vision to Blindness, we are here to change this negative mindset that people with vision have been thinking towards blind community. However, our plan as Vision to Blindness is to interview young men and women who have experienced both vision and no vision. And today's interview, I am so happy to have this young fellow in studio.
Visual to blindness.
Someone looks at us during the interview process. But what we can do is we can speak up for ourselves.
That's
That's the biggest thing.
that's the
And
big
to not let
message over there.
ourselves- Yes, and to not let ourselves be discouraged. When someone comes to you and says, you can't do this, for me, like when someone came to me and said, you can't do this, I was like, I'm going to prove to you that I can.
For sure.
Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me that I can't do it. Because now I have the motivation. I'm going to do it. And, I'm going to prove, going back to, when I was younger, like I said, being a hockey player, people don't, and of course now I found out that they have blind hockey. Adaptive sports is something I don't know much about adaptive sports. I want to learn about it because I love sports. And I know, I just recently learned about, goalball and beat baseball, and now I learned that there is blind hockey, for guys who are totally blind, which to me is amazing. I want to find out more about it. I live in the South. There's not much hockey being played down here anyway, sighted or blind. Some of the bigger cities they have it. I actually saw a video about it. There were some guys in Montreal, and they actually played at the Bell Center where Montreal, where the Canadiens play. They played a game before a Canadiens game, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. These blind guys and playing hockey on the same ice as Montreal Canadiens. And so I was like, that's amazing. But I mean, people wanted to say to me, you can't play hockey. Oh, so yes, I can play hockey. Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to play hockey, and we're going to see how it goes. And then I would meet new people. They'd say, well, you can't, you can't play hockey. I bet I could, I bet I could beat you, one-on-one. And I'd be like, okay, let's go find out. And to me, I love that challenge, and, as just because we're blind, it doesn't mean that we have to, we don't have to fall back and let anyone tell us what we can't do.
That's true. That's true.
I tell people that all the time. That's the biggest thing I tell people, because I meet people now. I'm kind of meeting more people who are blind, and they're kind of on a different spot on the journey. Like when you lose your sight, to me, it's a journey. It's a process. You start out from the day that you lost your sight, and it's almost like when they talk about, like, how do they say, like the 5 stages of grief, where they talk about where you start out with like denial and then acceptance. I don't remember what all the stages are, but when you lose your vision, it's like that. At first you're in denial, then you're angry about it, and then you I think the next one is bargaining, and then finally comes acceptance. And when you come to the point when you accept that this is your situation, that's when you can start to learn how to do things, and how to how to achieve what you want to do. And so I tell people all the time, I meet people who are just newly losing their sight, and I recognize the way they feel because I felt that way. And so I'm always so I always tell them, be like, what, it's going to get easier. Every day it gets easier because you're going to learn more things, and the more you learn, the more independent you're going to be, the more confident you're going to be. And and not everyone gets to the same level. Like, there are some people, they're just not going to get to the point where they want to go out and work, and they're just not comfortable.
That's so much.
Some of us are never going to get there, but you know what, as far as we can get, like, people should try to do as much as they can. You know what I mean? Like, as independent as you can be as a blind person, you're going to make yourself happy. The more independent you can be, the more happy you're going to be. You're going to be proud of yourself. The simplest little things, the first time you go to the store and go shopping on your own, you're gonna be proud because you did it by yourself.
That's
You know, the first time you get and use transportation and go
on your
and
own.
visit a friend, or you meet up with a friend and you guys go out to dinner, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like stuff that sighted people do. Everything you do as a blind person that you didn't think you were going to be able to do, you're going to be proud of yourself. So
And that's a
so
step,
that's
you
what I
know.
tell people. Yes, and that's what I tell people all the time. I'll be like, you know, you're not going to be able to do everything. Like there's guys out there that are blind, and like I'm so impressed by them because they do a lot more than I do.
For sure.
You know, they're working, they're doing everything. They have a good job. They're super successful. You know, their personal life is good. You know, they live in, you know, maybe they live in like a big city and they know how to get everywhere in that city with no hesitation. They're not worried about it. They're confident. They're there with the cane, or maybe they have a dog. But either way, you know, they go around just like a sighted person does, and they're not taking a back seat to anybody. They're not letting anyone tell them what they can't do. And I love those guys.
Let me
Like, to
appreciate
those
you
guys
for sharing all of that with us. That's so good. That's so awesome. Wow, that's very, very important for people out there to know, like everything. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate your time.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, no problem.
So
No problem at all.
I appreciate for giving this opportunity to speak out your experience and everything and your thought. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. You know, more than happy to do it. It's, you know, it's up, like I was saying, it's up to us. All we can do is help each other.
For sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate Randy. And
No problem.
yeah. That's so good. I appreciate it. And I will send you the link as soon as I uploaded the video.
Okay. That sounds good, and I'll go ahead and share it around, and hopefully somebody gets something out of it, because, you know, like I said, I think, it's up to all of us to help each other.
For sure,
You know,
for sure.
As visually impaired and blind people, we all have to help each other for whatever we can, because, you know, it's not an easy thing, and it's something we all have in common. We're all kind of going through it, and we can just make things easier for each other, and that's the best thing for me, I think, for us to do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem at all.
As soon as we get the next, maybe, yeah, let's keep in touch, and then maybe we should do a next conversation like this, and next time, for sure.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do it another one, and I definitely, I know I was talking with Mary about the VIP, you know, the parents, the visually impaired parents thing.
Yeah.
I was talking with her about that, and you know, I think that's an important thing as well, because a lot of people they're not sure how, and I hope we can, you know, it'd be awesome if we could find someone who is totally blind and does have a child and finds out how they do it, because I think that would be interesting.
For sure.
You know, I'd like to know how they manage, you know, how they manage the child, and how they do, you know, as the child gets older, and you know, when the child is asking questions and stuff like that. And I'm just curious how that's going to be. So I hope to, you know, I hope that takes off as well, because that's something that I think a lot of people would be interested in, because I think a lot of people are nervous about that. So that'd be a good thing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Right.
So send me the link when you have it, and we'll see how it goes.
Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good night.
You as well. Bye.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Visual to blindness.